Hello, everyone. This is MJ talking politics. So let's just have this disclaimer. These are opinions. They're not official government confirmed opinions. So let's just clear that up. But let's just look at some things happening right now. You have a man who fails to understand that you can be a bad boy only when there are not other contenders who is running for the same rank as you. In other words, after World War II, we were the best, the brightest, the toughest, and the roughest. But things have changed. China, Russia, North Korea, and some of the other countries. And some of these countries just being bad, they just ain't care because they get mad at certain things didn't matter to them. But now there's a fight for world domination. And the most dangerous thing you could ever be is cocky. The most dangerous thing you can be is overassured. The most dangerous thing you could be is overconfident, because you fail to understand that we're not the biggest and the baddest anymore. We have people who can match us and in some time technically transcend us, and in some ways have already transcended us in certain ways. One of the things that we have failed to understand, and I go back to the Art of War book that I've read, come across in many ways, that a lot of people still use today. You can come off as if you have it all, can do it all, or you can come off as if you have nothing, can't do anything, and you're below the average. But in reality, if I'm trying to sneak you, am I going to let you know everything I do? Am I going to create a fake missile test to make you feel like I'm inadequate with my technology, when in fact I know the missile that I got sitting is capable of doing more damage than you could ever think? Because you're still stuck on yourself, and you fail to understand that because you're so focused on yourself that I was sitting here making things happen while you were sleeping. And that's kind of what happened with America. Everybody want to blame it on Biden. Everybody want to blame it on Obama, even Bush or anybody. But no, it's called change. It's called rising up. It's called I'm tired of being the underdog. But the most dangerous thing we could ever do is think just because of who we are, that somebody else can't come along and do just as much damage as we have done and can do. For every big boss, there's a bigger boss. Don't let nobody ever tell you differently. And therefore, when Trump will say, if you do this with the BRICS and mess with the dollar, we're not going to trade with you. We got maybe 350 to 375 million people in this country. We don't know how many of them are babies, and we don't know how many of them are very, very old people. But what we do know is that China and India got 1 billion plus, bro, that they can do business with Africa, because for whatever reason, Africa has gotten real flaky with their international, allies and with their international partners around the world, and have embraced Russia and China and basically kicked America out. So if they go into China, they go into India, they go into Africa, they go these places and they sell to those individuals based on the 350 million, 375 million people here in America, with maybe 75% of us being able to just quickly just buy whatever we want, whenever we want, how we want to. They don't need us. And let's be honest, if you were making $100,000 and let's just say the dollar went down to 10 cents, what's going to happen to that person's buying power? Can you really buy anything with 10 cents on the dollar? No, you really can't. So you are only as bad as your economy is. And the term bad in this case means that you're about that life. But if they come and say, look, the dollar is pointless, we don't need y'all no more, y'all done built us up and made us who we are, we don't need you. So we don't have to trade with you. We don't have to send you all your Walmart, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, all your other stores who use us to make their things, all the auto parts stores and all this and that. We don't have to sell you. Mexico can say, get out, Ford, get out, General Motors. We don't want to work for you. The Russians got us right now. We don't need you. If they say something like that, we only will have the stuff that we already currently have in this country. And what would definitely happen if people just started panic buying? One billionaire can wipe out, I don't know how many different Walmarts, Kmart's, Targets, whatever. And Kmart's not even in the store, but you get the point. You are playing with people who have nothing to lose. You have people who take out their own people because of disrespect. They don't care that you're America. They don't care that you got bombs. They don't care that you got people who are rich. They could care less because they have tapped into other people in other countries, and they are flexing their muscles because they know something you don't. And you're sitting here threatening people who rely lesser and lesser on us. And you might think, well, we do trade with them. For now, you do. Well, they need us for the economy. For now, but not really. Like, I'm going to keep my friend close to me. That's my enemy. You understand me? It's called a frenemy. If I'm still doing business with you as usual, are you thinking I'm going to ambush you down the road? No, because I'm still in your face. Yeah, if I just cold turkey drop you, yeah, you know something coming. But if I still talk with you and walk with you and eat bread with you, you're not looking for the okie doke that I'm about to send your way. And that's how our enemies do us. You think because we do business that we're friends? We're not friends. You're only as important as the money in your pocket. I don't need you if I can get that money from somebody else. You're disposable to me. And that's where these people are at this point. They're tired of being in the shadow of America. They want to be the top dog. They want to be feared everywhere they go. They want to shake people in their boots. They want the power that America has always had. And they're willing to sacrifice themselves just to topple us over. So you flexing your tariffs, you flexing, if you threaten it, what you gonna do? You gonna threaten me? You gonna drop a bomb on me for messing with the dollar? You gonna do that? Knowing that there's gonna be some retaliation and you'll lose for some money? You gonna really do that? No, you're not. You're gonna suck it up and you're gonna deal with it. Because what choice do you have? Because when it's all said and done, it's possible that we're gonna be trying to go over to their places. We're gonna be trying to go over where they are to say, hey, look, I was just playing with you. Like, we still cool, ain't we? We still can do this business and everything right. And Russia gonna be like, no. And China be like, no. We done with you. We're the top dogs now. If you want to play by our rules, you're gonna have to do everything we say. Do it why we say it, how we say it, where we say it, when we say it. We're gonna be basically being the pawn for a country way across the world. We broke away from England because they were trying to dictate us all the way across the water. And then we're going to be in a situation where we got somebody all the way across the water somewhere else who's going to be telling us what to do. Because they figured out, what is the strength of America besides its military? How is the money going to help the military? Well, we can cripple their money. We can cripple their military because you're not going to probably have too many dedicated soldiers who will want to work for free. Sadly, we don't have patriotism like we used to. We're not patriotic to the extent that we used to be. Everything about this country is sadly, for the most part, has money involved. And sadly, from the military to government positions, it's about money and power. It's not about patriotism. People are not running for office for the love of their city, the love of their state. They're doing it for the love of power and recognition and importance. Yes, it could be some issue that happened to them when they were children where they didn't get the attention they wanted. Maybe they were abandoned. Who knows? But All I know is, if you don't have a tactical president who takes everybody's word at face value, who never questions, who does not believe in trust but verify, who continues to walk around as if America is the way it used to be 10, 12, 14, 20 years ago, 40 years ago. If you don't have a president that shifts with the changes around them, no reason why any other country should have a better navy. No other country should have a better missile. No other country should have a better economy. No better country should have, nobody should have outdone America in any way. But we're trying to flex our muscles with a country that has a weapon that nobody knew about. And the question is, can you match it? The question is, were they giving you a snippet of the small replica of the big boy that they got still hiding, waiting for the time to use it? Are we still sleeping, not believing that we can be threatened physically on American soil with an invasion? I'm a Christian. I listen to prophets, and they've said repeatedly that Russia was going to invade America, that China was going to invade America. And some of you are listening right now saying, that's not possible. That's not possible. 9/11 wasn't possible until it happened. Oklahoma City bombing wasn't possible until it happened. The marathon wasn't possible until it happened. Charleston massacre at the church wasn't possible until it happened. The massacre at the club wasn't possible until it happened. The massacre at the grocery store in the predominantly black neighborhood wasn't possible until it happened. Pearl Harbor wasn't possible until it happened. We must get over what we don't think is possible and prepare for whatever can happen, whatever is possible. You can't play me no more than what I allow you to. You can't disrespect me no more than what I allow you to. These countries are tired of being second to none. So let me rephrase that. They're tired of being second, and they want to be second to none. America must pray. America must go to its original roots of pure government with balances of power, separation of power, with clean hands in the government, with clean hands in the courts, and clean hands in the leadership. But the problem with us is that we are too cocky. We're overly confident in the institutions of our country that have sustained us for decades, failing to understand that there are other countries who want to be the top dog. They have watched, they have sent their children, they have sent their grandchildren, their aunts, their uncles, their parents to our schools, infiltrated our military, infiltrated our government, infiltrated our everyday activities as Americans through our technology usage with social media. How we can turn on each other with a blank. They have watched all of this, and they are strategically planning our demise. And we can go and have as many guns as we want, as many grenades as we want, as many tanks as we want, as many planes as we want, as many ship carriers as we want. Everything. But a good enemy has figured out every move possible of their enemy. And what's even worse, if you're sitting there chilling while your enemy is plotting and scheming. They didn't think that we would attack them on Christmas Day while we were trying to establish ourselves as an independent nation. People don't think people will attack on sacred days and sacred moments. But that's when they'll do it. That's when they'll feel like you're sleeping. You don't expect for us to break that social norm in your country. But a savage does not care about social norms, doesn't care about military norms, doesn't care about nothing traditional. Because if they know that you're possibly planning for anything that's traditional, that they can't get you with a non-traditional attack. Israel experienced that, where they didn't have the technology as Israel, but they used something a little bit more intelligent that was not as easily detected. Quiet, subtle, but deadly. The most dangerous person is the one that can take a complicated situation and make it very simple and make it do the same damage. And that's what our enemies are doing. They are taking their time planning our executions. They are taking their time planning our demise. They're taking their time planning our annihilation. And we got people sitting here worrying about putting tariffs on goods that may never come here again, where they may choose to say, we're not going to sell anything to America. Whatever America got, they got to make it, or they're not going to have it. But that's hard when your raw materials come from another country. That's hard when you get this part already made from that country. We have depended too much on foreign countries for our self-sustainability. We have failed to understand the true beauty of vertical integration, and we're too compromised in horizontal integration. Needless to say, it is time for us to see our enemies in their full attire. That just because they handed you something with their hand, their heart is blackened towards you. They don't care about your tariffs. They look at everything else that you're not even caring about, which is giving me a heads up about your weaknesses. That you're so anal, that you're so vain, that you're more concerned about money than the military. You're trying to put people down on their knees through tariffs when they're trying to put you down to your ankles through warfare. Having you down on the ground looking for food in weeds and dirt, looking for roots that might be edible if they're not poison. We have sadly become so invested in ourselves in a way that we fail to understand that our success is still contingent upon someone else's failure in another country, that you got to work for pennies so that the people in this country can buy them for $50. But people are tired of even that. They don't want to work for pennies anymore. They want dollars. They want rights. They want care packages. They want 401ks. They want your company. They want your money. They want your pride. They want your heart. They want your everything. They want your soul. They want to crush you down to the ground and make you feel like nothing. They want to make you slaves to their way of life. And we're concerned about tariffs. We're concerned about putting weaklings in government positions where people could possibly be sold out and bought out. And we're not even doing traditional FBI background checks. You want to put weak people over our national intelligence, over our military, over our local, our homeland security, who are stuck on revenge against Americans and not our enemies around the world. The most vulnerable people in any nation are those who are going against each other, which is why these foreign countries are saying now is the time to start throwing our weight, because they hate each other so much they're not even concerned about who their real enemies are. So this is our time to slip them, to shake them, to break them, nullify them, annihilate them. It's not going to be worth it worrying about this investigation, that investigation. We need to worry about Russia, China, North Korea, and even our enemies that are our friends right now, who are secretly plotting to turn on us for their own survival. There are people we're helping in other countries right now who have already had a contingency plan in place that they will turn on us if it meant their country would survive. And we're steadily sitting here worried about putting tariffs on a pack of avocados, a car, when you're going to have people in this country who can't even buy avocado, buy tequila or a car, because we're going to be trying to survive. Take care, and God bless you. Hopefully you'll understand this better by and by, but do not sleep on what I said. While we're playing, our enemies are scheming and plotting. While we're sitting here beefing with each other, our enemies are scheming and plotting. While we're trying to weaken our balance of power and the separation of powers, our enemies are plotting and scheming. While we sit here and talk trash about leaders in government and trying to bring harm upon people we don't like because of political differences and skin color, our enemies are plotting and scheming against us. Because what you're going to fail to see, but what everybody else on your enemy list is going to understand, that they're not going to care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, black, white, green, or yellow. If you are on American soil, you are their enemy. You better read The Art of War and understand it, because you're going to see it played out in real time in a few.